The sounds of the city. City sounds here live on YouTube. Going to move over to my main scene. What's up, everybody? How is it going? So, as I was rolling my intro, I lost my main key light. So I improvised during the intro, grabbed the little guy, threw it on, and hit the house lights. So everyone gets to see my mess back here, which is chill. When I'm rolling the next video, I might replace the Sony batteries on that guy. So anyway, it's late at night. We're chilling. Just wanted to start off by just saying thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel. We hit 2,000 subscribers today, which is a huge milestone for me. I honestly, when I started this whole journey back in January 2017, I didn't expect to have more than a couple hundred. This was going to be just a creative outlet for me. I didn't think that it could become a legitimate thing. And 2,000, while it's not millions, I am deeply, deeply grateful. That's 2,000 of my closest friends all here right now, which is amazing. So what I'm going to be talking about tonight in our second edition of the late night live stream is audio preamps. And I just wanted to generally go over a couple different preamps and then do kind of a Q&A for whoever's here, whoever wants to chit chat. So if you're into dialogue recording at all, you know that audio preamps are very critical if you have microphones that don't have phantom power, that aren't really powerful, that are very gain hungry. For example, this is the SM7B. Beautiful microphone, huge for podcasting, huge for radio, huge for everything like that. But it doesn't have a lot of power on its own, so you need a preamp to boost its levels. So I was going to just talk about a couple different preamp options tonight that I've been using recently, plus a new addition I have to the family, which is a UA, Universal Audio 710 preamp called the Twinfinity. I wanted to just kind of test that one versus all the other ones that I have and just do kind of a fun thing tonight. So back in the day, my first ever preamp was the Golden Age Pre-73 Mark II, and that preamp is a kind of like a synthesis of what the old Neve 1073 was, put into an affordable small body. I actually have it right over here. It's a small little red thing and it works great. It's got like a nice little gain knob on it. You can choose the different levels as well as the output, and it can introduce a lot of coloration to the sound. So I've used that a lot for all of my microphones when I'm doing any sort of a recording situation like this. Then the other one I have is the Cloud Lifter, which is more of an activator, but it also acts as a preamplifier. It adds 25 decibels of clean gain to the signal if you're using something like a passive mic or a ribbon mic or a dynamic mic, that kind of thing. That's a really good one as well. And now this new UA Twinfinity. So I've had a couple questions recently on some of my SM7B videos that have asked, what does this thing sound like directly into the H6? What does this thing sound like directly into the F8? Without a preamp, what does it sound like with a Cloud Lifter? Cloud Lifter, what does it sound like with a FET head? That kind of thing. So I just wanted to address that tonight. And how I'm going to do that is by showing this little edit that I made where I'm comparing all the different signals from the SM7B into the F8 through the Twinfinity, through the Pre-73 Mark II, through a Cloud Lifter, and any different combination of those things. So check this out. We're going to listen through this audio test, and then we'll come back and do a little Q&A when we're done. Testing the SM7B into the F8, no preamp, no nothing. SM7B into the preamp of the F8. Straight up. Testing this time the SM7B into the Cloud Lifter into the F8. We're talking on the SM7B into a Cloud Lifter into the Zoom F8. Listening to the quiet noise floor. Plus 25 decibels of clean gain. Cloud Lifter CL1, SM7B into the Zoom F8, 48 volts phantom power, noise floor. Now we got the Shure SM7B coming into the Golden Age Pre-73 Mark II. Zero gain on the Zoom F8. Pre-73 Mark II into the Zoom F8. Noise floor test. Something just drove by. Noise floor test, Pre-73 Mark II. Into the Zoom F8. Just listen to the sound of this coloration here. Sound of the coloration. We don't need to send the 48 volts. I don't know why that was doing that. Pre-73 Mark II. This is the SM7B going into the UAD. Sorry, the Universal Audio Twinfinity. And we are all solid state. Solid state preamp right now. UA, solid state, Twinfinity preamplifier. Shure SM7B. Now we're at a fully tube preamplifier coming out of the UA 710 Twinfinity preamplifier into the Zoom F8. Zoom F8 has zero gain. No gain at all coming out of this right here. I'm a little surprised at the noise. I'm a little surprised at the noise of this. I didn't think there'd be so much noise, and I'm blending between tube and solid state now. Blending between tube and solid state coming out of the UA Twinfinity. UA Twinfinity. Straight up. Now here we are with the Shure SM7B going into the Cloud Lifter, into the Universal Audio 710 Twinfinity, full-on tube preamplifier. And we're moving over to solid state. Solid state, Cloud Lifter. Let's try not to clip here. We're going to turn down the gain just a tick. Keep the output up. UA Twinfinity SM7B coming in here. Solid state over into the tube setting. Going to listen to that tube setting here. UA. Again, we got SM7B Cloud Lifter into the Twinfinity, into the Zoom F8. Into the Zoom F8. Noise floor. Okay, so that was that. You guys heard that situation. And so really all that was just a comparison of different signals and really just a comparison of the noise floor test. And what I mean by that is just a comparison of the noise floor, like how quiet is it and how colored is the sound. So I'm going to be making a video on the UAD, actually just the UA, the Universal Audio Twinfinity soon. And I'm excited about that because I like it. And in fact, right now, what you're hearing is the SM7B into the Cloud Lifter, into the Twinfinity, into the Universal Audio Apollo, into their interface with some compressors and stuff going on right there. So real quick, Twin Sauce, what's up? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you. Yes, you guys taught me how to do live streaming, and I think that the animation stuff is just building on what you guys taught me. Snail Trail 4x4 is here. Good to see him. He's customizes Forerunners and stuff, and Tacomas, I think, up in California, which is sweet because I am a big Toyota truck fan. Glad you're here. I need some cool stuff on my current Tacoma, which would be awesome because I just love my truck. I love that thing. And if I could like do truck stuff, I would, but I'm really terrible with cars. And I try to keep my hands safe and clean because it sounds really like sissy-ish of me, but like I'm a guitarist, so I don't want to like hurt my fingers. I got to protect them. Hassan Jama, am I saying that right? Thank you for all the tutorials. Hey man, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Logan, it is late AF. That's true. You see, over on the East Coast, wherever you are, appreciate you. Wow, $1.99. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Super chat. Yeah, it is late, but you know what? I've been doing these late night streams. This is kind of my new thing. Like once a week, maybe twice a month, that kind of thing. Late night streams. The last time I did this, the next morning I had a 7 a.m. appointment, and it was with a client, and I got a text from my wife that she was going into labor. And so we had a baby that day, which was about 10 days ago. It was last Tuesday. So congratulations to me. Also had a baby, which is great and awesome. And she's sleeping right now. I got the little monitor because everyone in my house is asleep. And so I got to take care of the child when I'm down here working and doing that thing, getting back into it. Matthew says hi. What's up, Matthew? I need to come down to Dolce and get some good cinnamon rolls from you soon. So soon. So, Any questions about preamps, about cameras, about film production as we're just kind of chilling here? We've been going for about 15 minutes. I just love to do a little Q&A with the 8 to 10 of you that are here right now. Any questions at all about audio? Is anyone even interested in this kind of a stuff? Do you do podcasts? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you like listening to the radio? Do you like microphones? Do you like cameras? That kind of stuff. Because this stuff just truly lights me up. And what I'm working on outside of YouTube stuff that I'm going to be getting back into doing tutorials and all that. And of course, I do commercial production full time. That's my main thing. But like what I'm working on is creating an audio for video course right now that is going to be geared towards Audition, but in the future will be geared towards Final Cut, Premiere, all that kind of stuff. And that's going to be for purchase. It's going to be more of like a lynda.com type thing. And so the audio for that is really important to me. And it's going to be kind of like this sound, you know, SM7B into all this different stuff. So congrats. Thanks, guys. It's really fun. Having a new baby is a freaking blast. I'll be honest. It's just, I don't remember how small my first child was. This is my second child. We have 2 little girls. This is number 2. Her name's Evelyn Grace. And she's tiny and so precious. And she only smiles in her sleep, which is awesome. So thanks for all the congrats. Twin Sauce is into podcasts. Of course you are. You guys should make a podcast. You know what? Quit the daily vlog, but like do the podcast. That'd be sweet. What am I listening to right now? You know what? Like, what am I listening to right now? 2 things. This is kind of hilarious. The first one is Sleeping at Last, is a deliciously amazing folk musician who is doing songs of the Enneagram. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Enneagram at all, but like he just released the Enneagram Type 4 song. And if you want to know a little bit about me, pants down here in front of everybody, I'm an Enneagram Type 4 through and through. And so his Enneagram 4 song I just listened to. And in fact, I've listened to it hundreds of times as I'm trying to interpret those words in relation to my life because it makes so much sense for me. So I've been listening to that. And then I still am listening to the Annihilation soundtrack over and over and over because that soundtrack, the score for that film has like taken me into new depths of understanding music. So thanks for that question. That's awesome. Snail Trail, you need that tutorial. Yes, you do. You also need to record some exhaust, man. We need to get some exhaust recordings. Like we talked about on Instagram, my truck doesn't have cool exhaust sounds anymore. I'm very domesticated, and I'm protecting my fingers. Logan, you need a mic for your 5D Mark IV for travel videos. So here's the deal. Everybody has the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, and I do think that it is the best small hot shoe mounted, 3.5 millimeter mic there is. But I would just say straight up, I would recommend that one to you for sure. And if you don't have budget for that, go down from there. VideoMic Pro, VideoMic, whatever their earlier ones are for a couple $100. A VideoMic Grow, the tiny one. Any of that is going to make the 5D sound better when you're talking to it if you're vlogging because it's sitting right on top of the camera, as you see a lot in the vlog world. But let me tell a quick story about my VideoMic Pro Plus. For probably like 3 or 4 months since I bought it, I've noticed some strange noise with it. And I started to press into that issue and actually just recording it in silent rooms and listening to it. And it had this nasty, like grinding sounding noise floor that like it sounded like the 60 cycle hum that you hear when you have a ground loop issue, but it was even more so than that. It was like kind of like grinding. And I wish I had an example to pull up and like show you right now, but I don't. And so I called Rode and I was just like, hey, can you take this back and fix it? And they said yes. And I will say they have been great with my NTG3 that ran out of gain a couple years ago, and I had to send that back and get that all fixed. They are awesome from a customer service standpoint. Their warranties are great. So anyway, interesting story about that sound. I don't know if any of you watched the 368 show, the new Casey Neistat show. I'm a huge fan. I'm a big fanboy of Casey Neistat. Wonderful human, wonderful vlogger. I think he's an excellent storyteller, filmmaker, just overall entertaining human. But a couple of his episodes of 368 where he has the VideoMic Pro Plus on top of his, I don't know what he's using now, if he's back to Canon or Sony, but it has the same sound. It's got that same like grinding, weird, strange noise floor, and I don't think he notices it. He's not a big audio guy. In fact, a lot of his audio needs help. He needs the audio gospel. And Anyway, I've heard this in multiple different, I don't know, applications of the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. So I don't know if that's Rode's issue or what, or if it's a grounding issue inside the mic. It comes with its own little battery that kind of emulates AA's. So I don't know if that's an issue. I don't know. So Logan, hope that helps. Get yourself a VideoMic Pro Plus. I do like it. However, the stereo VideoMic X, which I have right over here, is an excellent mic for vlogging because it does sound good when you talk in front of it, even though it is an XY configured stereo mic. Because of how stereo works, if you're right in front of it, it's going to sound in front of it. And it also picks up amazing audio for B-roll. So I love that mic a lot. Usually the GH4, which is what this is, which you guys are watching on right now. Typically, I have the stereo VideoMic X on that when I'm running around, unless I have the VideoMic Pro Plus. Back in the day, I actually had this like Velo hot shoe mount that would like add different cold shoes on top of it. And I used to put my H6 and the NTG3 in a shock mount on top of my GH4. So I had this little GH4 that I run around with and then a massive like audio thing on top going on. Those are the old days. I've kind of chilled out and realized that there's still goodness in having smaller microphones because I love the NTG3. The whole point of that massive setup was for the NTG3. So that's that. Anybody else have questions before I jump into talking about a new lens that I just got and a lens that I just ordered? We can move from audio to video because I really love lenses as well. I think visually I'm getting better at the actual visuals of everything. Let me just go get it. Hang on. So, this is the new guy. There's two new lenses that I'm going to get. Before we move on, hang on. Snail Trail. What mics would you suggest for a pin-on style mic? Dude, this is like so many options here. I will say this. I just ordered a Countryman B3, which I've heard and from what I've seen of it, and its low profile is could be the best lavalier mic that there is. But I love the Countryman EMW has been a great mic that I've used before. Real nice high end because when you have like a lavalier microphone, you're always going to get that throaty rumble and you want something that picks up good high end because you're not in front of the mouth like a mic like this. You're down on the chest. Rode's a little mic that I have with their wireless filmmaker kit. I forget what it's called. It's really, really good. The Tascam DR10L, the recorder I have, has a really nice mic on it. I think it's the Sennheiser ME2. It's very similar in shape and size to the ME2. Really nice, clean, and clear. And I just ordered the Zoom F1, which is a tiny little recorder to compete with the DR10L. All of that is coming. So hard to say, Snail Trail, which one to get. It is currently in all my interviews, when I go do an interview for commercial style video, I'm going to be using the Rode Filmmaker Kit, which has that little Rode mic. It's very slim. I hide it underneath shirts all the time with the Rycote undercovers, and then it transmits on the Wi-Fi frequency, so you don't have to mess with any of the interference you get with the Sennheiser packs. But I also use the DR10L a lot by Tascam. So a lot of those, man, lavalier mics, we could talk for hours about lavalier mics. But let me get back to you on the Countryman B3. I'm really excited to get that mic, like really excited. You need it for interview style. Man, yeah. If you have nothing right now and you have a recorder, I think you have an H6. I think you said you have one. I would go for one of the Countryman mics that has an XLR pin, just so you don't have to mess with plug-in power for a small 3.5 millimeter. Get something that is wired and has XLR. You don't have to mess with wireless, all that. And Countryman EMW is good for that, but it only needs 12 volts of phantom power, not 48. So anyway, hit me up more on that. There's a lot to talk about there. I just blocked my fill light here. By the way, I got the lights back on, which is great. Twin Sauce bought the Sony a7 III and the Sony 16-35 f2.8, making the switch. So you guys have been on Canon this whole time, right? You guys have been doing the Canon like 70D, 80D, that kind of thing. That's cool to see what Sony does because Sony, I don't like Sony's image at all unless you color grade it, and then I think it looks phenomenal. And so anyway, before I answer some of these other questions, I want to just show off, this is the new beast in my household. It's a C100 Mark II. I love this camera. I've used it for 4 straight years since it came out in 2014, and I just decided to buy it because I've been renting it for every single project. Currently, on top of it, I have the Rode Stereo VideoMic X. It's got its nasty, beautiful, delicious, furry windscreen on it, which does help a lot against the wind. If I take that off, you can see it's the XY mics, just doing that kind of stereo thing right there. But this new lens that I got is the 17-55 f2.8. which is just a freaking bomb lens. If you're outside in natural light, like the 2.8 is plenty. I mean, if you want that depth of field, it's going to still look really shallow, but 17 is super wide for this, not totally full frame, but CMOS or APS-C, whatever it is, sensor, full 60p. Yeah, I know it's not 4K, but guess what? 4K is not even a big deal. I still am not on the 4K train. This thing, I think, looks as good as the C200. I've had both of them side by side. I've worked with both of the cameras. That huge Passion Awards project that I was just doing all through January and February, it was C100 Mark II and C200 together, and I can't tell the difference between those images. I really can't, which is pretty freaking remarkable. So anyway, excited about this. And then the other thing that I just want to talk about, I just bought the 85 f1.4 IS. In fact, I bought it a week ago and it hasn't come yet, but I'm really, really excited about that. Yes, big investments, but you got to invest in your future, right? So anyway, that's a good one. Peter McKinnon did that review, and Twin Sauce, if you're still here, you'll understand this because I talked about it. He did this big review on that lens, and I was like, man, I already talked about that on YouTube. Like, what the heck? Why don't we collab? Petey, if you're watching, we should collab. Okay. Best hot shoe mic. So yeah, I was kind of talking about that earlier. I mean, video mic, Rode makes the best ones. I know you guys are sure. I think Rode makes the best ones. VideoMic Pro Plus, it's great. Other than that weird noise floor issue, it's great. Unless you're doing B-roll stuff, stereo mic, stereo VideoMic X, all that stuff's great. Excuse me. Good heavens. Sennheiser makes the MKE 440, I think is what it's called. It's a double shotgun that's like AB instead of XY. It's supposed to be really nice. I've never worked with it. So that's all that. Yeah, we were Canon, but I'm so happy with the change so far. Dude, would love to see like how the autofocus works, all that stuff. Is there like a flip out screen with that Sony A7 III? I'm not even sure. You should tell me that stuff, Twin Sauce. He's just copying us. Yeah. Peter is, he's just like, he's risen to fame, but he's just copying all of us. So we need to put him in his place. We need to spread the audio gospel to him. To be honest, like I saw his release of all his like mouth noises, his sound effects that people are buying left and right and calling amazing and awesome. And I listened to that and I was just like, oh gosh, no. They're not that good. Not that good. So Paul and I are both on this chat. So confusing. Luke. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to bring over here and talk about before we go? It is 1:25 and we got a couple of you still here. So I think I could like send this out with the same intro screen that I started this thing with. Yeah, I made this like cool little animation deal tonight before this to try and enhance my live stream ability. So you need the audio gospel. Let's be real. You do. Everyone needs it. The audio gospel is going to be like virally infecting the whole world in 2018. You just wait. It's coming. Everybody needs it. We need to learn how to fade our audio. We need to learn how to compress our audio. The dialogue out there is just not that good. We need to all get better at that. So, any other questions? We're just giving you view time. Twin Sauce, it's just you and me here now, which is great. I freaking love it. I keep these things up. I keep the live streams up. Your intro was cool. I didn't know you could do that on live stream. Snail Trail. Yeah, it's so sweet. So Twin Sauce introduced me to, what's this called? OBS. And you can just like do this. Like, check this out. Hang on. And like, that was just like, that was my old intro for this whole thing, which is super sweet. You can just click to different stuff. And last time when I was doing this live, I had this little desktop view, and I obviously don't have anything now, but I was doing like a little walkthrough. When I rewatched that live from last time, I realized that it was really, really choppy video play, trying to do real-time stuff on the computer. That's why I actually exported a video to do the new audio test this time. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Snail Trail, you should do some live stuff. Do some live like truck stuff. That'd be sweet. It would be sweet. Helping a brother out. I forgot what I was talking about to him. Saw something really important like the audio gospel. But yeah, Paul, I'm excited to see you on Tuesday, man. Help me out on some commercial stuff. It'll be sweet. If nothing else, I think that we should wrap this thing up. I'm going to do a couple tutorials are coming soon, as well as some reviews. The 710 Twinfinity review, the Countryman B3, the Zoom F1. All those reviews are coming in the next month, as well as a couple different audio tutorials and one cool little video thing that I'm working on as of right now. But baby came right in the middle of all my projects, and I had taken a break, so it's all slowing down. But anyway, it's all going to be chill. All right, people, I'm signing you off with my new intro because I really loved it, and the drone footage was shot by Blackborough Creative, Sean Joseph. If you don't know him, check him out. He's the best drone pilot in the continental United States, as far as I can tell. So, all that being said, I will see you all next time.